Alright, hello everybody, I'm back, and I actually went and took a little bit of a bathroom break, and I've realized that I've been talking pretty much exclusively just about the fight, and, you know, everybody does that, where they're just like, oh, I need to do this, or oh no, that killed me, bloody bloody blah. But let's go on a different rant. Let's completely ignore Sonic by doing the only thing that we can, talking about Sonic himself, and how his franchise has been doing lately. Obviously, Sonic has been hitting bumps in the road, but really, my main question is, what kind of world do we live in where Sonic still is getting games made about him? And obviously, there's a lot of effort going into these Sonic games. Not a lot of good effort, but in some cases there's a lot of... At least you're getting artistic and 3D designers that are trying their best to render Sonic's single eye. Because he does only have one eye. There's been a lot of jokes about that. Where Sonic just kind of has one big eye with a flap over it. But what kind of world do we live in where Sonic gets all this nice attention that I don't even think Sega exists, or does... What does Sega actually... Is Sega owned by Nintendo now? What is up with Sega? I don't know myself. I really couldn't tell you, but they're definitely not the powerhouse that they... Ow. They're definitely not the powerhouse that they used to be. Yeah, I'm not the powerhouse that I used to be. I was never a powerhouse. Actually, to be honest, I'm probably in the best shape of my life right now because of how difficult and physically straining my job is. You know, the whole wedding server thing. I have to carry a lot of heavy dishes and stuff. So because of that, I'm in the best condition of my life. But really, though, Sonic is, in my opinion, past his prime by far. But what kind of world is it that we live in where Sonic gets a free ride based on nostalgia? I don't even know what's happening with Sega. Whereas, alternatively, Capcom is doing fantastically and we don't have any more Mega Man games. What's going on? What has happened? That is silly. Capcom has the resources, they have the creative people. They could easily, if they really wanted to, make another Mega Man. I don't even care if it's a good game. I've only played the first Mega Man game, and I'm already disappointed that it's not continuing. I'm sad. It's kind of like when you start reading a really good book, and you're just like, oh man, I can't wait to see the kind of things that this person's gonna put out in the future, and then you realize they're dead. It's like, oh man, I haven't even begun, and there's already a limit, and it's just that feeling of there's nothing else but what's here and presented. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind letting certain series die, and actually I do hold a lot of respect for certain companies that can say, you know, this series is over and done with. You know, let's move on. We're not just doing this to make a ton of money, like certain other companies do, where they just get as much coverage and as much money out of a series as they can, even to the point where, like, they're still putting out games in the hopes that in the future the fan base will come back and really want this game, you know? They'll keep the franchise alive. But really, I'm so sad that Mega Man is dead. The only hope that the Mega Man community has is that Mega Man's going to be in the new Smash Brothers, but even that, I don't think, is really going to solidify it. Because if being in Smash Brothers was any criteria for a series coming back alive, then where the heck is Mr. Game & Watch's game? Where's the Game & Watch 2015 Game of the Year edition? Huh? Where is it? The fans demand it. I demand it. I can't get enough Game & Watch. I really wish I had them unlocked. But I just find that really weird that Mega Man's dead and Sonic is alive. Now again, I haven't played some of the more recent Mega Man games, like, if I remember correctly, there was a couple... I think there was a couple Mega Man games, either on the DS or the Game Boy Advance. I think it was a Virus series. I think that was the name of it, like Virus Code something or other, that had a lot of mixed feelings, and a lot of some of the other like GameCube Mega Man games were kind of iffy quality. Some were really good, others were kind of like no. But a few bad games, even if they're catastrophically bad games, shouldn't kill a franchise as big as Mega Man, or as nostalgic as Mega Man, because people will... I mean, look at Sonic! Sonic survived Sonic 2006! He's still getting games put out about him. Oh, that was so close. That was ridiculously close. I need to be hitting him a lot more when he's in that second phase. I'm too focused on dodging. I love seeing Ryu just fly up into the sky like that. That's too funny. But I have to say, at least give Sonic some credit. Sonic Team is still trying. They're at least, even if it's pathetic, I will at least respect them to the point where they're putting out games, even if they're of questionable quality. I've heard Sonic Colors was an okay game, but I don't know. Again, I actually, to be honest, I don't think I've ever played a Sonic exclusive. I've never played the original ones, that's for sure. Just, it's never been a series that I got into. Not for any particular reason. Like, I'm not excluding Sonic from my life because, you know, I don't like him or I don't like the gameplay idea. The gameplay idea sounds great, you know, going really fast, dodging things quickly. That sounds really fun and hard. Just something creative, you know? It's just... When I was a kid, I grew up with a Super Nintendo. And that was just my console of choice. I just stuck with Nintendo. Actually, to be honest, a lot of my console, no, like pretty much almost every single console that I got into, or like series I got into, was because of my father. My father owned a Super Nintendo before I was born, actually, and that was the one that he passed on to me. And I started playing it, and I really enjoyed it, and eventually my dad got a PlayStation 2, which is pretty much what decided me between PlayStation 2 and Xbox. And I'll tell you one thing, I'm kind of on the bubble about having kids, but man, if I ever have kids, they are going to be so... Please, kids of the future, if you're watching this, this is your dad from 2014. Kids, if you're watching this video, this is your old dad talking. Please be into video games. Please, I need to have a new generation to talk to about this kind of stuff. I'm sorry, I would love him anyway, but a large part of my heart would just fall down and curl up and die into a blackened little lump if my kid hated video games and was exclusively into, like, basketball. I'm sure that makes me a bad human being and a bad parent. And I was punished for it. You see, I was punished. I can do this, though. Sonic, I'm not even concerned about you anymore. It's just a matter of time. I'm not focused on beating you, I'm just focused on doing good commentary, okay, Sonic? Go away. Just go away, Sonic. Yeah, I was gonna say, I jumped way too late there. But I mean... I don't know. I would still love my daughter, son, whatever, if they were into something that I wasn't into, but I would just be... Because I gotta be honest, I'm hoarding a lot of my older video game systems and a lot of my old, I think I've been doing this unconsciously, or subconsciously, or whatever, but I've been plundering eBay and a couple other websites looking for old game cartridges and older, just game memorabilia in general. I hate to admit it, but I think I've been doing it, so if I ever have a kid, I'll be able to show them all this cool stuff from back in the day. That was pathetic. Oh, that was such... No, this is over. How sad. I'm dead. Yeah, I can't. You see that gem thing I can't do. I've got to beat him. I've got to beat him before he does that gem circle thing. I just got to hit him more when he's doing the rubber band phase. At least I got that far. That's actually pretty impressive. I've almost got him down. It's just a matter of hitting him. So, as you guys can tell from me just recording video game commentary, I've got a lot of ideas and a lot of attitudes towards a lot of different subjects, and I would love to have a little kid to pass this kind of stuff on and hopefully make a better person to appreciate this art medium. I don't know, maybe that's too optimistic of me, but I would love that. So, I don't think I would ever show my kids this channel, though. Considering some of the raunchy stuff I say on here. Just be like, oh yeah, Dad, I have a little thingy, and then they'd be like, oh, well, what is it? And I'd probably just have to tell them straight out, because if you hide anything from kids, they'll want to know more about it. They don't take no for an answer. But I honestly could not, at this point in my life, see having a kid. So I don't know, maybe I'm just hoarding it all for nostalgia for my own sake. But we'll see. We'll see what ways, where life takes me on this journey through who knows what. Maybe they'll just look at me and go, that's an old man, and he's sticking to his old video games. Nowadays we've got 3D. You know what I would love to see in the future? In our lifetime, I think I started to say this earlier, but in our lifetime, is it so unrealistic to envision 3D platforming games where we're strapped in and we like just platform? That's if anything, I would imagine that would be the way to get people into video games and fitness and whatever. Taking the Kinect and Wii U and fitness idea of video games can actually engage you and putting it into full gear. I can't imagine the politics that would incite. You know, people going, oh, this is augmented reality, people are escaping reality to deal with their problems in this way, and they'd be all who knows what about it. I don't think I would ever show my kids this game, though. Maybe if they started mouthing off and they say, ah, here's an old man, what have you ever done with your life? I'd show them this and be sad. That stinks. That last bomb always holds me back from hitting him. If I can get that last bomb to not hit me, by the way, 21 deaths. If I can get that last bomb to not hit me, I've got this. It's just all that last bomb. That was a good pattern. Ah, it's so difficult. Because the thing is with the rubber band thing is it's either way too tight or it's way too loose. And that's what makes it uncomfortable. Here, you guys enjoy the music. I'm gonna focus here. Oh, that was lucky. So close. Oh, why'd you hit me on the bottom there, Sonic? Oh man, it's just a matter of hits now. It doesn't even matter. You know what it is that I realized? Is I forgot. As soon as the bombs start and he's on the left-hand side and he's doing the circle thing where he's charging up, he's on the same level that you are when he starts it. So if you're up in the air, that's hilarious actually, because if I hadn't been using Ryu, I probably would have done better if I had been using a character that was closer to the ground. That's actually really funny. I'm so close though. See, with a boss like this, I don't get mad anymore, because it's one of the worst bosses in the game, and taking a long time on it is expected. It's not like with Mario, where he wasn't that bad, and you're just kind of like, oh man, this is so easy, normally. But this is just something that you have to learn to accept. Oh, I couldn't see him. He flew down into the flames and I had no idea where he was.